feels a little bad. And it is going to be the Rakan here for Labrov. Obviously, the Rakan does allow you to follow up very nicely, I think, particularly when it comes to like Caps' ultimate, when it comes to...
Of course, you can see the runes at the bottom of the screen. Nothing too crazy, although it looks like it will be the lethality Varus for Han, an experienced player, especially with boots already.
They're still starting this, and Keen still has TP available, so does Broken Blade, but he's going to go for a base now. Gen.G, I think, looking for the contest. Wave in mid is crashing. Chovy's on his way.
Can he find a way into the pit? Labrov locked up for a moment. Maokai ulti over the wall. Eyes on the dragon. Who's going to be able to get it? Caps. Beautiful start to the fight. Knock up coming through as well. Ruler's trying to back off, but they're getting lower and lower. Calling over the wall, but Ruler's in no man's land. And finally, Keen has come through.
This engage is really good with that Braum. Doro is already a little bit low. Is Keen. TP's in. Possibility for a Soul Point here for G2.
Set up off to the side. G2 second on the objective, but here comes the Maokai ultimate. Ruler sidestepping, crucially. Caps looking for the knockup, but already going in is Keen on the side, and he's going to get cut down. Knock to the backside, it's Labrov. Fall up onto Chovy. The Azir gone. Damage deleted. G2
for a great ultimate from Caps. Really big deal.
Quick play on the side lane. Caps snaps through. We'll be able to pull back, flash away. Q3 still living for a moment, but Chovy gets the job done. Sama stepping up, laying down the hail of arrows. His Broken Blade lays a bit of damage down, but tanks 2 tower shots. Definitely not ideal. Keen keeping the fight going. Broken Blade can't afford to stick around. That AoE damage is going to hurt, but Skewmon coming in the blink of an eye.
There's
the TP in from Jax. Caps recalling, buying an item. That's the ulti going in from the Maokai. They want to split it. They want to 50-50 it. Skewmon against Canyon. Who can get it?
He got it!
It's Canyon in the clutch. Binding away, but the ball from Caps is there. Down goes Keen. No, lives for an extra moment. The snapback will get it done. Q, knock up onto 2. Duro on the way out. Chovy with the pushback to hold the line, but Skewmon goes in one more time. They get more than they wanted to.
And Otacon turns your teams into paperbacks as Ruler just goes in, flashes out. Nothing he can do.
There, waiting it out. Won't quite fade away in time. Caps a few more seconds. Hansama flash forward, wants to finish the job under Ruler. One more auto will do it. The hail of arrows. 10-2. G2 with the gold lead in game 1. Labrov looking for the knockup. Doro next. I won't pretend that the early game stats were pretty, but holding on, finding a way to scale into this game is a big deal for G2's hopes here. Knockback is big though. Labrov caught out, not respecting the Mega Blast Cone. Taking his time, ulti into the midst of the pit. Skewmon to follow. Caps standing behind. Chovy goes golden buys a brief second, but he just sells out Ruler. The pushback is massive for Chovy. The Azir is still alive. He's free hitting, but there's just too much damage. G2 shredding through Gen.G. Quick flash out from Chovy. Sliding to safety. Objective down.
On Labrov right now, so this would just be a straight up 50-50.
G2 are stone cold. Looks like they might have found the angle. Lockup is there, immediate fall from Labrov. Chovy's not gonna have a chance to respond. The CC flawless. Hans on a rampage. G2 finding the angle. The patience, the discipline around the objective, unseen in play-ins, comes roaring out on the main stage, but it's Labrov again, over-eager.
Approach this Broken Blade, standing guard.
But it's a 2. Broken Blade has to retreat. Hans getting some poke down. Canyon with the flash. 5K. Caps going for the knockup. Everything used to deny this jungler access. But now no one's on the objective. No one's on the Drake. They're taking their time. Keen slowly burnt down.
That's gonna be
Dragon set to fall as well. Keen running for his life. G2.
Should be looking at a game 1 lead here.
Broken Blade staying in the wave. Quick stun.
Being
Ward
attacked
hop over the wall. Gen.G trying to collapse somewhere. Look for an angle, but it does cost him a bit of damage on the top side tower because it's only Keen left to defend it.
45 seconds.
TP coming in, matched immediately by Caps. That's the ulti out from Skewmon. Push back from Chovy, a solid start, but Ruler, the calling goes completely wide. Caps over the wall, looking to find a man, looking to find the knockup, but Canyon is untouched for now. G2 descending into the base, and it's all eyes on the Broken Blade, leaping forward. Ruler can't get it done. And the confidence on this lineup as they close this game, as they draw first blood in this best of 5.
Broken Blade's performance, when you look at kind of the bot lane overall, but the whole team, what was the X factor in this game? Like,
that's definitely something that is very scary as the Rise comes through, so even more ability to impact side lanes. And I gotta say, I think it's kind of a smash hit from G2 again.
Definitely not the expected result. Again, clean 3-0. It is now Gen.G looking to re-dive. Knock up there onto Hans. Q follow. Vault breaker and the first blood. Gen.G. Keen Careful to get his damage out before he overheats. The taunt, solid, good damage. Flashing to safety. Broken Blade chunked out.
Uh-oh.
Won't quite fall, but those minions doing a hell of a lot of damage. Keen around, maybe hoping to find a steal. Hansama at least getting the souls. Nice engage coming in from Duro. Lock up there onto the Wukong. Chobi's ult goes in as well, and down goes Skumon. Lebrov caught in the midst of the pit. Hansama laying down a bit more shielding, and it looks like Vi will fall. Canyon spit over the wall. Taken out of the pit, Hansama. Waiting for the flash to come through. Root is there. Curtains called on Lebrov, and down goes
the TP.
A bold call. TP, Galio on the way in. Broken Blade probably immediately going to start channeling taunt here. Locked up. Beautiful CC layering. Finds the taunt into Duro. The stun kind of missing from the side of Ruler. Doesn't connect the snare. Now the ulti from Chovy. G2 retreating. But they've effectively lost their top laner. And Canyon's just now arriving. The equalizer's still there. The curtain call there. They got 2 ultis. But not much else to show for it as the equalizer is laid down. Canyon rooted up for a moment. Lebrov taken out. Gen.G in the extended fight plays so well around their cooldowns.
Towards mid again. Herald is up. That's going to be what the teams are playing for.
Q flash clean from Canyon.
Heads continuously as we do have the Herald being dropped.
G2 running forward. They see Chovy on the top side. They're not concerned. Excellent combo to kick things off. Equalizer follows. Caps off to the side. He's been isolated and Ruler looking to follow. Lebrov resets the fight with the Devour. Gets a bit more space, but Gen.G have already taken the tower, and now it's Chovy chasing through. Duro looking for another combo! The Alistar finding the angle, but they're only hitting the tankiest members. Cap still stepping forward, looking for a bit more damage, but now the curtains have been called. Body block there, Lebrov getting low. Skumon covering. G2 holding on for now, but they've lost priority. No!
Spied using so many tools. It feels like initially maybe too many on that mid lane players. Oh, Ruler.
Missile Voyage there. Q, Otto. Woo! As production is highlighting here, that is a sated Kinch coin paste gold grind as Q just barely not going to hit, but now it's Hansama who's been locked up. Hansama who's getting picked in mid lane. Duro taking his sweet time trying to find more. Chovy is there. G2 just wanted a couple creeps.
Right next to the target, trying to burn is Canyon.
Canyon overstaying a bit here, but Ruler waiting behind. Ruler with almost 3 items ready to go. Look at the damage coming through, but Hansama still living for an extra moment. Flash forward from Ruler. Hits his mark, finds his man. Chovy going face first in the caps is a bit difficult. The damage is there from the rise, but Ruler remains uncontested. 4th shot. A brief moment to reload. Realm Warp in. Wukong delivered. But Broken Blade out of mana. They can't find the engage, and out comes the ulti. It's Chovy on the side. Getting shot like fish in the barrel. Duro to follow through. Ruler, uncontested. Chovy dishing out so much damage. Skumon tries to get something back. He has an extra moment, but the knockup is there from Duro, and down.
He's going to be a lot more happy. He's again a pick.
Again looking for the option onto Duro. They get the ulti. 2-man knockup. Ruler forced to back away. Lock into the Iron Solari used. Duro will fall.
Oh, you got to pull the trigger on Nash. I imagine to risk either.
Chovy.
Maybe trusting in the Hans.
No getting out of this one. Chovy damage coming through. Broken Blade wants to save the day, but Ruler just cannot miss in this game. Skumon called out, knocked down, fakes the stealth, but Canyon's not falling for it. Knock up there on Ruler, maybe it can be the turning factor. It's all eyes on Caps. Caps who has to do the damage. Caps who cannot afford to be burnt down by Keen. Lebrov buys him an extra moment, but Canyon's already there. Caps running for his life, but it's just not enough. Set to get this tower for free. The 3 grubs they secured earlier in the game, but G2 know they need a Hail Mary. They need a desperation play. Flash forward from Caps. Root onto Ruler. Lockup coming in from Hansama. He might be vulnerable on the backside, but all that matters is killing this AD carry. G2 find their man, but now it's Chovy in the fight. Chovy who deletes Hansama. Canyon follow up. Duro there as well, trying to lock down the rise. Keen gonna follow up as well. Caps, not enough room to play, but the taunt from Broken Blade is big. He's burning in the midst of it all, though. And again, it is Gen.G. Happy to trade his ultimate for Lebrov's if he needs to. Equalizer used. Gen.G immediately pull the trigger, finding multiple members. The ults are beautiful, but it's Broken Blade with a 3-man knockup. Hansama for now uncontested. Caps burned down again. The curtain call coming in. Ruler untouched, undaunted, unfazed by a single loss. Gen.G, one final moment, taking their time. Skumon desperately trying to make the difference with the base in tatters in front of them. Gen.G fire back in game 2 and tie the series.
Is here that could actually go G2's way, but it was Gen.G who got those small increments and then absolutely
for him, get big ultimates. Same for the Victor. And that's not the most orthodox ball delivery system, but it's one that we've seen. Canyon obviously.
The wall. That looks a lot different if level 6 is there for Keen as Gen.G refused to allow the mini exit. Duro, quick flash over the wall, looking for the setup. Gromp there to maybe body block the Sonic Wave. LeBron trying to get tricky. He knows if the Q hits, he's dead. He lives!
So much burst available as Duro looking for another play.
X-Flash. Waiting. It's the auto. Hook back, just on the edge of tower range. Hansama living for an extra second here. Ruler, full channel in the ult, but it's Canyon on the way in. Hansama, there's no way out of this one. Ulti across, trying to get something back. Canyon just kicks him into the wall. The Bloodthirster.
He's almost mega. Skew there as well.
Hoping to find the combo. Q3. Mininar instantly deleted. Out of turret range as well. No chance of a counterpunch. It's such a gamble. G2 are kind of forced to make this play because already Broken Blade is conceding on the other side of the map. They're trying to burst through Duro in the meantime. Luckily, he gets the Aftershock down, so it's taking a bit of time from the side of G2. Cataclysm goes in. Not ideal, and now Canyon, with the Herald he grabs earlier, is set to break mid. Hansama has to be careful. Immediately tries to get out. Skewmond isolated on the side. Good damage coming in from Ruler, and down he goes. Oh, Canyon! I don't know if that was a misclick or if that was intentional, because if that was intentional, that was insanely BM. Canyon either styling or misstepping, but it doesn't matter, because either way he got the kill, and he's just riding up into the... Like that was a nasty play, as LeBron's been caught out. Canyon finds another alongside Chovy, and it's Caps in the meantime. Otacon backing him up, lowering some of those resistances, but he has to get the hell out. Canyon still going, completely fearless, styling, dashes through, kick back! The mental damage, let alone the physical damage. Canyon just keeps coming. Ruler in the meantime finds the isolated target. It's a shutdown for Hansama, but Chovy responds with a great kill, and Skewmond will die in the meantime. Gen.G. G2 praying for a mistake, hoping to find an angle that Gen.G haven't anticipated, but Gen.G just have so much control.
And the 2-item spikes are done as Skewmond
goes in. Skewmond doesn't really have another angle, but he whoops to flag and drag out and drops.
Oh, the TP.
Chovy isolated on side. Broken Blade, a lot of CC, should just be able to run him down. Flashing over, looks like the pick on the side lane. Shut down for
you gotta
G2,
try.
no ultis though.
You gotta try.
No ulti on the Victor, ulti on the Ezreal might do a little bit of damage, but they're already being shepherded back into the pit. Ulti goes in from LeBron just to get a bit of space. Keen in the face of multiple members of G2 is not taking any damage. Broken Blade to the back line. No!
That's free!
3 into the wall! Fall from Skewmond into 2, but Keen again! The Cassante just generating so much space. They finally hit the combo, but it's too damn late. Gen.G more powerful. Finding the angles. Hansama running Keen. Playing greedy, playing aggressive, unafraid. It might cost him his life though. Steps back into Canyon. Canyon flash forward. One more out to get it done. Hoping to find a kick locked up into the tower, but Ruler is here to finish the job. LeBron knocked down 2 for Ruler.
As this game number 2 was an immense blowout, Dracos.
Game 2 was dominant. Game 3 was a slaughter. Gen.G move on.
And then that's what their faces looked like after the Lee Sin was done with it. Like that was a misfortune. Orianna, yeah, Jarvan makes a lot of sense here. You can see that G2's gone for a very much team fight comp. But the moment you lock in the Jarvan, like that is Canyon saying.
Tested so much in previous patches, but allowed to fall so far through the cracks in this picks and bans. As now the Mundo.
Mundo jungle.
G2 Army, if you are here, your boys have their backs against the wall. They need to. The second they don't see anyone bot lane, they know that there has to be something afoot.
Oh no.
Now Broken Blade will be here, has the flash. Do they immediately go for the gank? Chains there, knock back to the wall, solid. Broken Blade getting lower, and he's likely to fall now. First blood for the side of Gen.G. The good news is Hansama has been able to stay relatively even in CS. You can see an early boots purchase, but Rob just keeps going. Aftershock there, the Leona so tanky, but not tanky enough. One more auto, and LeBron gets the kill. Excuse me, Ruler. Seems like everything has gone wrong for the side of G2. LeBron walking into face check, level 3, gets punted into the wall. Hansama immediately flicked back. Caps is here.
Skewmond, the
LeBron
steal.
Still relatively okay. Skewmond walking in, hoping to get the steal, and he's gonna take it. But they're losing kills. They've given so much just to contest. Hansama forced to flash out Keen. Low on mana. Flash forward from LeBron, determined to get it. Just wants to keep going forward. LeBron getting lower and lower. Hansama waiting over the wall. He might just die in an instant, but the Q, the Acathian Rain almost gets the job done. Finally, Keen goes down. G2 trying to fight their way through the deficit. Just keep going. And then
big chunks.
Nice gold card onto Chovy, trying to outspace here. Unraveled Earth there, and Chovy just speeding off into distance. Power of that phase rush. Skewmon hits him with the what? Mundo passive. Immune to that initial piece of CC as Broken Blade forced to ult. Ruler, nice movement thus far, but Q2 does connect. Broken Blade just using it for a bit of extra healing. The Corki pressure, still pretty massive. Conqueror proc doesn't have Triforce yet, but still really starting to hurt.
It's the gold, right? As Ruler
caught out. Gold card wasn't ready for it. Chovy's here, but it might be too late. One more auto coming in. The Infernal Chains bring him right back.
Looking for another collapse on him, but reinforcements are on the way.
No ulti, but he does have the flash. Knocked into the wall. Skarner setup. Beautifully layered. The TP coming through as well. Broken Blade's got nowhere to go. Extra healing coming from the Thunder Sky, just trying to delete the wave, but he's going to get flicked back.
A couple of great plays.
Chovy
able to get further ahead.
Blue Smite. Slow doesn't quite hit. Forced to flash away. Mundo just keeps going. Duro has to be careful.
I know about this one.
Spell immune now. Decent damage. Mitigating what he can. Exhaust going too. Ulti coming in from Caps. Bit of CC, but doesn't connect the stun. Duro able to find the knockback, but Caps is still in the area. Skewman immediately gonna ult, trying to keep this fight going. Chovy not able to find the flick as Caps flashes out. Gen.G, a lot of resources burned. Ruler finally able to get here. Ruler does a lot of damage. Duro knockback, but doesn't find Hansama into the wall. Canyon going forward, will get Broken Blade. Big damage, and Ruler just allowed to free hit. Skewmon, though, continuing to walk forward. Skewmon completely unconcerned about the damage. Duro goes down. Canyon likely next. He's getting next to the wall because he desperately needs to run away, but Skewmon is on the chase. Going where he damn well pleases, but he's on the opposite side of the wall, and now it's Chovy. Looking to engage. Broken Blade taking massive damage. The Aatrox likely to fall. Flash away.
Unbroke Puppy. But while that's happening, Keen is pushing so hard that there's no other opportunity for you than just keep responding. Skewmon just gets.
Skewmon.
Instead, he gets an inner, which still feels bad, but it's these cross-map plays as Gen.G, they just keep setting up these traps, and it looks like Caps has fallen for it again.
Caught out. Has the ulti, but the CC held.
They're not going to use, oh, yeah, not waiting until the end. Through, I think Gen.G don't want to give over any chance for G2 to get this Drake.
In. They managed to find Chovy off on the side, though. An early departure from the wall. Sees him face-to-face with Skewmon. Broken Blade going for 1v1 versus Keen, and it doesn't look like he's going to come out on top. But a quick flash! Massive healing coming in the Sundered Sky. Just in time. Gold card from behind. Chovy locked up. Unraveled Earth perfectly hits on Zama. Now Ruler just throwing down damage. Caps forced back. Gold card giving them a bit more space. They don't quite have the follow-ups. The poke from the Aatrox.
Too many people. Collapse on Baron can be very, very swift here.
Broken Blade matching Keen thus far. Caps immediately going bot lane. Keen, the member who doesn't have that extra lockup, doesn't have the extra cleanse, and he's going to get taken down. But Gen.G immediately pulled the trigger in the meantime. It's Eyes in the mid lane.
But they do have the Poppy. Duro trying to get out of vision, I think, but he will be spotted. They don't have that much damage.
Solar Flare manages to connect. No immediate follow-up. Chovy for now uncontested. Flash from LeBob keeps him safe. Broken Blade in the pit. Hansama and Caps on the side. Chovy focused on the objective. The Baron, the smites are bad, but they managed to get it in the end. Canyon takes the objective. Broken Blade free firing. Caps still standing. Duro down. Broken Blade still going, flashing out. Caps can't go toe-to-toe with Canyon, but the gold card might be able to buy him a bit of a second, a bit more time. It's still the Baron. Managed to find the advantage, managed to find the win. But since then, it's been Gen.G from start to finish. Ruler isolated wall from Canyon to keep him standing. It's Hansama. Chovy's damage. Doing the work. Knockup going in from Duro. Lebrov trying to retreat. That's the ulti. Canyon ready to go forward. Chovy just continues to lay down the poke. And
the G2, they gave it their all, but even the early leads, not enough as Gen.G marched on the base. Caps behind them.
Caps behind to go golden. Managed to buy the Seekers just in time for the flick back. Skewmon in the midst of the team. Broken Blade standing, but as long as Ruler's alive, that healing reduction is just too much. The front line of G2 slowly being whittled away. Duro taking down the tower, set to fall. Keen jumping in. Finding the kill is Skewmon. There's nothing left. He's taken out. Gen.G send a statement to the rest of MSI. We will not falter.
But unfortunately, Gen.G